Are you taking your daily vitamin D supplement faithfully, yet still noticing weak muscles, slow recovery, or stubborn belly fat that refuses to shrink? Here is something surprising. Vitamin D alone is not the real key to building strong, lean muscle. In fact, if you take it without the right nutritional partners at the right time of day, it may do almost nothing for your strength or metabolism. Here is what most people never hear. Muscle growth does not just depend on protein or exercise, it depends on how your vitamins work together inside your body's biochemistry. When you wake up in the morning, your metabolism and hormones are primed for one thing, rebuilding tissue and activating muscle protein synthesis. But to unlock that switch, your cells need two very specific vitamins that act like spark plugs inside your mitochondria, the energy factories of your muscle fibers. Think of it like starting a car. Vitamin D might be the battery. It stores the potential, but these spark plugs that ignite your muscle metabolism are two other vitamins that almost everyone forgets at breakfast. Without them, the engine of your muscle cells turns over slowly, no matter how much vitamin D you take or how hard you work out. Now, why does this matter so much? Because after the age of 40, our muscle fibers become naturally resistant to the signals that tell them to grow. This process, known as anabolic resistance, leads to weaker muscles, slower fat burning, and eventually age-related decline in strength and stability. But here is the good news. By adjusting your morning vitamin strategy, you can actually turn that resistance off. Here is what is really going on inside your body. When you wake up, cortisol levels naturally rise to help you mobilize energy. Your liver begins releasing stored glucose to fuel your muscles and brain. This is a powerful moment, but it also means your cells are incredibly responsive to micronutrients that affect mitochondrial energy, muscle synthesis, and fat oxidation. The vitamins you choose at breakfast can either amplify that natural metabolic ignition or blunt it. Recent research in nutrition and metabolic physiology shows that two vitamins, when taken early in the day alongside food containing healthy fats and proteins, significantly increase muscle strength, improve mitochondrial performance, and even enhance vitamin D's own effects on calcium metabolism. These two nutrients work synergistically with vitamin D, acting as co-activators for muscle repair and energy generation. So today we are going to break down exactly what those two vitamins are, why timing matters, and how to pair them with your morning meal to maximize muscle growth naturally, even if you are over 50 or 60. If this is helpful so far, tap the hype button below and consider subscribing. I post content like this every day. The supplements we're discussing in this video are tagged with the video, and you can get them from online stores. By the end of this talk, you will understand not only which vitamins to take, but also how they interact with your metabolism, hormones, and muscle tissue, so that every breakfast becomes a powerful muscle-building ritual. Most people think of vitamin D as a simple bone vitamin. You take it, your bones stay strong, and that is the end of the story. But here is what most miss. Vitamin D is not a vitamin in the traditional sense. It behaves like a hormone, controlling over 2,000 genes, many of which are involved in muscle protein synthesis, energy metabolism, and inflammation. Here is what is really going on inside your body. When you take vitamin D, your liver converts it into a storage form called 25-hydroxyvitamin D. Then your kidneys and muscles must activate it into its usable form, calcitriol. That active form enters your cells and binds to vitamin D receptors, almost like a key fitting into a lock, switching on genes that help build and maintain muscle fibers. But here is the problem. Without the right cofactors, that key never quite turns in the lock. Vitamin D can be present in your bloodstream, but your cells cannot use it efficiently. It is like having a full gas tank but no spark in the engine. The body needs certain nutrients to make that conversion and to deliver calcium, magnesium, and energy into muscle cells where they are needed most. Recent research has shown that individuals who take vitamin D supplements alone often see only marginal improvements in muscle mass and strength. But when vitamin D is combined with its metabolic partners, particularly vitamin K2 and one specific B vitamin that we will discuss later, the results are dramatically different. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscle as a construction site. Vitamin D is the supervisor giving the signal to start building. But if the workers, in this case, calcium and protein enzymes, are not directed to the right spot, the structure never goes up properly. That direction system is powered by the two vitamins we are about to discuss. Now, timing matters just as much as combination. Taking vitamin D later in the day can sometimes interfere with natural melatonin rhythms because vitamin D influences serotonin pathways that regulate your sleep-wake cycle. Morning intake, especially alongside fats and the right supporting vitamins, allows your body to use it when your anabolic hormones are naturally higher. Testosterone, insulin-like growth factor, and cortisol. This timing synchronizes with your body's internal clock, improving absorption and utilization for muscle repair and strength gain. And here's something even more interesting. In people over 50, studies show that vitamin D receptors in muscle cells become less responsive. That means the same dose produces a smaller effect. However, when these receptors are primed by the two morning vitamins we will cover, they regain their sensitivity, almost like turning up the volume on your body's natural anabolic signal. So the takeaway is simple. Vitamin D is necessary but never sufficient on its own. To truly activate muscle growth and energy metabolism, you need the full network of nutrients that make it work. Think of vitamin D as the conductor, but without the orchestra, there is no music. If this is helpful so far, tap the hype button below and consider subscribing. I post content like this every day. The supplements we are discussing in this video are tagged with the video, and you can get them from online stores. In the next part, we will dive into the first of those two morning vitamins, the one that makes vitamin D come alive in your muscles by guiding calcium to the right place and turning on muscle repair at the cellular level. Here is where things get interesting. The first vitamin that supercharges vitamin D's muscle-building effects is vitamin K2, a nutrient often overlooked yet absolutely vital for strength, bone integrity, and metabolic health. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium from food, but what happens next depends entirely on vitamin K2. Without K2, that calcium floats around in your bloodstream, sometimes getting deposited in the wrong places like arteries or soft tissue instead of your bones and muscles. Vitamin K2 acts as a biological traffic controller. It tells calcium, do not park here, go to the muscles and bones where you belong. This vitamin activates special proteins called osteocalcin and matrix GLA protein. Osteocalcin pulls calcium into bone and muscle tissue, while matrix GLA protein prevents calcium from hardening blood vessels. Together, they ensure that every milligram of calcium ends up strengthening your frame rather than clogging it. Now, why does this matter for muscle? Because calcium is not only a building block for bones, it is also the signal that triggers every single muscle contraction in your body. When you lift, walk, or even breathe, calcium floods into your muscle cells, allowing them to contract and generate power. If calcium cannot move efficiently, your muscles cannot fully engage. And that is where vitamin K2 changes everything. It ensures that calcium is available exactly when and where your muscle fibers need it. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of vitamin D as the light switch, turning on the power line for calcium absorption. Vitamin K2 is the electrician, routing that electricity safely through the correct wires. Without K2, the current sparks randomly, inefficient, and sometimes dangerous. With K2, the system runs smoothly and powerfully. What the research shows is that people who take vitamin D and K2 together experience better muscle performance, improved bone density, and enhanced insulin sensitivity. One clinical study found that older adults supplementing with vitamin K2 had stronger quadriceps strength and slower muscle loss over a 12-month period compared to those taking vitamin D alone. Another study revealed that K2 improves mitochondrial function in muscle tissue, meaning your cells produce energy more efficiently during physical activity. Now let us talk about timing. Morning is ideal for taking vitamin K2 alongside vitamin D because both are fat-soluble vitamins They absorb best when consumed with a meal that includes healthy fats such as eggs, avocado, nuts, or olive oil. This not only improves bioavailability, but also aligns with your body's natural cortisol rhythm, which boosts nutrient transport into cells. A simple breakfast protocol would look like this. Start your morning with a meal containing protein and healthy fats, maybe eggs cooked in olive oil with leafy greens. Take your vitamin D together with a K2 supplement, ideally in a ratio of around 100 micrograms of K2 for every 1,000 international units of vitamin D. This pairing ensures that the calcium absorbed by vitamin D is directed to your muscles and bones, not your arteries. In practical terms, this means stronger muscle contractions, better recovery after exercise, and more efficient use of energy during your workouts or daily activities. Over time, your muscles literally become more metabolically active, burning more calories even at rest. Vitamin K2 is your precision tool. It makes vitamin D functional, targeted, and safe. By taking it at breakfast, you are setting up your metabolism and muscle tissue for a day of efficient, energy-driven activity. In the next section, we will reveal the second vitamin that takes this even further, the one responsible for igniting your cellular engines and converting food into energy your muscles can actually use. Now that you know how vitamin K2 turns vitamin D into an active muscle builder, let us unlock the second vitamin that powers your energy engine, vitamin B3, also known as niacin. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Every muscle fiber contains thousands of mitochondria, the microscopic energy plants that convert food into usable energy. Vitamin B3 is the raw material your body uses to produce NAD, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, the molecule that fuels all cellular energy production. When NAD levels drop, your muscles fatigue faster, your metabolism slows, and your recovery time stretches out. But when NAD is abundant, your muscle cells can generate energy at full capacity. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your mitochondria as a fleet of small engines. Vitamin D and K2 build and tune those engines, but vitamin B3 provides the fuel line that keeps them running. Without enough B3, even the best tuned engine sputters. When you take it in the morning, you fill your metabolic tank for the day. What research shows is that vitamin B3 supplementation increases mitochondrial density and enhances the efficiency of oxidative metabolism, meaning your body burns both glucose and fat more effectively. This is why athletes often have higher NAD levels. Their muscles have been conditioned to convert energy with minimal waste. But even if you are not training intensely, maintaining strong NAD production through vitamin B3 can mimic many of those same benefits, improving stamina, strength, and fat oxidation. Here is the fascinating part. Vitamin B3 works synergistically with vitamin D at the genetic level. Studies show that vitamin D receptors are involved in the expression of genes that regulate NAD synthesis. When you provide both at the same time, those pathways become more active, translating into stronger cellular metabolism and faster muscle recovery. Now, timing and form both matter. Taking niacin with breakfast, especially one that includes protein and healthy fats, prevents the common niacin flush, a temporary warming sensation caused by blood vessel dilation. This mild reaction, while harmless, signals that niacin is increasing circulation and oxygen delivery, an effect that can actually enhance muscle repair. A practical morning routine could look like this. After your vitamin D and K2, take a low to moderate dose of vitamin B3, about 100 to 200 milligrams of nicotinamide, or a form called nicotinamide riboside if you prefer a gentler option. Combine it with hydration and a protein-rich meal, such as eggs, yogurt, or a protein smoothie. This provides amino acids to support muscle protein synthesis and allows B3 to accelerate energy conversion inside your muscle fibers. Let us connect this to fat burning for a moment. When your NAD levels rise, your body increases the activity of sirtuins, a family of proteins that regulate fat metabolism and muscle repair. These sirtuins help shift your body from fat storage into fat utilization. That is why higher B3 intake is linked with improved body composition and metabolic flexibility, especially in adults over 50. So, pairing vitamin B3 with vitamin D and K2 in the morning builds a powerful trifecta. Vitamin D signals growth. Vitamin K2 directs calcium to your muscles, and vitamin B3 fuels the process with cellular energy. Together, they help your body not just build muscle, but keep it metabolically active. In the next section, we will connect all of this with your hormonal rhythm, how your morning cortisol, insulin, and liver metabolism create the perfect window for this combination to work even more effectively. Timing is not just a detail, it is the secret key that determines whether your supplements become powerful tools or wasted potential. Your body is not static. It operates on a rhythm called the circadian cycle, and every morning your hormones and metabolism align in a very specific way to prepare your muscles for growth, repair, and energy output. Here is what is really going on inside your body. When you wake up, your cortisol levels naturally rise. This is not stress, it is your body's way of releasing stored glucose from the liver to fuel your muscles and brain. Cortisol also signals your cells to become more insulin sensitive for a few hours. During this window, nutrients, vitamins, and amino acids enter your muscle cells far more efficiently. That is why taking the right vitamins at breakfast gives you a metabolic advantage that evening dosing can never match. Think of it like opening a gate. Cortisol is the gatekeeper that allows energy and nutrients to flow in the morning. When you take vitamin D, K2, and B3 at this time, they ride that hormonal wave straight into your muscle tissue. Vitamin D activates protein synthesis genes, vitamin K2 directs calcium into your fibers, and vitamin B3 fuels mitochondrial NAD production, all while your muscles are most responsive. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscle as a sponge. In the morning, it is dry and ready to absorb water. That water represents nutrients. Later in the day, the sponge becomes saturated, less able to absorb. If you pour vitamins on it at night, much of it simply runs off. Morning intake ensures full absorption and utilization. Now, let us add another layer. Insulin. Insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone. It is also anabolic, meaning it promotes muscle growth. After a balanced breakfast containing protein and healthy carbohydrates, insulin helps shuttle amino acids and micronutrients into cells. When vitamin B3 enhances mitochondrial efficiency, those nutrients are converted into energy more rapidly. This synergy boosts post-meal metabolism and supports lean muscle formation rather than fat storage. What the research shows is that morning supplementation with fat-soluble vitamins like D and K2 leads to higher blood levels and better tissue distribution compared to evening dosing. Similarly, studies on NAD precursors indicate that early day intake improves circadian alignment, energy metabolism, and endurance performance throughout the day. So here is a simple and effective morning protocol. Within 1 hour of waking, have a breakfast that includes a protein source like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein shake, a healthy fat like olive oil, nuts, or avocado, and a complex carbohydrate like oats or fruit. Take your vitamin D together with vitamin K2 and vitamin B3 during this meal. Follow it with a glass of water to aid absorption and hydration. This single adjustment aligns your supplementation with your body's natural hormonal rhythm, cortisol awakening, insulin sensitivity, and mitochondrial activation, making every nutrient more effective. If this is the only change you make to your routine, it can dramatically improve your energy stability, muscle tone, and fat-burning efficiency throughout the day. Morning vitamins are not just about convenience. They are about synchronization with your biology. When we talk about building muscle, most people imagine looking stronger or performing better in the gym, but muscle tissue is far more than that. It is a metabolic organ, one that directly determines how well your body regulates sugar, burns fat, manages inflammation, and even ages over time. The vitamins we have discussed, D, K2, and B3, do not just grow muscle, they help transform it into a protective organ for your entire body. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Your muscle tissue acts like a sponge for glucose. Every contraction during the day, even walking or standing, pulls sugar out of your blood and stores it as glycogen. The more muscle you have and the more metabolically active it is, the better your blood sugar control. That means less insulin resistance, lower inflammation, and reduced risk for metabolic diseases such as type 2 diabetes or obesity. Now, vitamin D enhances the expression of insulin receptors in muscle cells, making them more responsive to glucose uptake. Vitamin K2 prevents calcification in tiny blood vessels, improving oxygen and nutrient delivery to muscle fibers. And vitamin B3 increases mitochondrial NAD levels, which drive the enzymes responsible for fat oxidation. Together, they create a physiological environment where your body runs more efficiently, converting fuel to energy instead of storing it as fat. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body as a city. Muscle is the factory that produces energy, the liver is the logistics center, and your blood vessels are the roads. Vitamin D is the engineer, ensuring the factory runs at full capacity. Vitamin K2 is the road manager, keeping traffic, calcium, and nutrients flowing smoothly. Vitamin B3 is the fuel controller, making sure the machines never run out of energy. When all three work together, your entire metabolic city thrives. No traffic jams, no energy blackouts. What the research shows is that adults with higher vitamin D and K2 levels have lower levels of inflammation markers such as C-reactive protein and higher levels of adiponectin, a hormone that promotes fat burning. Meanwhile, maintaining optimal B3 and NAD levels has been shown to activate longevity pathways through sirtuins, the same molecular mechanisms triggered by fasting and exercise. These pathways protect DNA, reduce oxidative stress, and preserve mitochondrial function as you age. This is why maintaining strong, metabolically active muscles through the right micronutrients is not just about appearance, it is a cornerstone of healthy aging. Strong muscles mean stable blood sugar, resilient mitochondria, and lower levels of chronic inflammation, all of which extend your health span. Here is a practical insight. When you improve muscle quality, your entire hormonal system recalibrates. Testosterone, growth hormone, and thyroid function all stabilize because your body senses improved energy balance. Even your brain benefits. Studies show that people with higher NAD levels and stronger muscle metabolism have sharper focus, better mood, and more consistent energy throughout the day. If this is helpful so far, tap the hype button below and consider subscribing. I post content like this every day. The supplements we are discussing in this video are tagged with a video, and you can get them from online stores. So when you combine vitamin D, K2, and B3 at breakfast, you are not just supporting muscle growth, you are activating a system that improves every layer of your physiology, from the way your mitochondria produce energy to the way your hormones communicate. This is the foundation of metabolic longevity, a state where your muscles stay strong, your metabolism stays efficient, and your energy remains youthful no matter your age. Now that we have uncovered the science, let us turn it into something you can use, a simple, evidence-based morning routine that helps you build muscle, increase energy, and enhance metabolic health naturally. This is your daily muscle ignition protocol. Here is what is really going on inside your body each morning. Within minutes of waking, your metabolism is like an engine warming up. Cortisol rises to release energy, blood flow increases to the brain and muscles, and your cells prepare to use nutrients. What you do in this first hour can determine how efficiently your body burns fat and repairs muscle all day long. Let us build the protocol step by step. Step 1. Hydrate and prime your metabolism. Start your day with a tall glass of water and a pinch of mineral-rich salt or a squeeze of lemon. This supports adrenal function and restores fluid balance after overnight fasting. Hydration enhances nutrient transport and prepares your digestive system to absorb vitamins and proteins effectively. Step 2. Eat a protein and fat-rich breakfast. Your first meal sets your hormonal tone. Aim for 20 to 30 grams of protein and 10 to 15 grams of healthy fat. Think eggs cooked in olive oil, Greek yogurt with nuts, or a protein smoothie with avocado. This combination stabilizes insulin, prevents mid-morning crashes, and activates muscle protein synthesis. Step 3. Take your morning vitamins. During this meal, take your vitamin D, vitamin K2, and vitamin B3 together. Vitamin D, 1,000 to 2,000 international units daily. Vitamin K2, about 100 micrograms per 1,000 international units of vitamin D. Vitamin B3, 100 to 200 milligrams of niacin or nicotinamide. All three work synergistically. Vitamin D signals your muscle genes to activate growth. Vitamin K2 directs calcium into muscle fibers, and vitamin B3 fuels your mitochondria with NAD energy. When taken with food containing healthy fats, their absorption and utilization reach optimal levels. Step 4. Move your body within 1 hour. This does not need to be a full workout. Even a 10-minute walk, light stretching, or resistance band session can trigger muscle glucose uptake and signal your body to use the vitamins you have just absorbed. Morning movement enhances insulin sensitivity, stabilizes cortisol, and primes your mitochondria to burn fuel efficiently throughout the day. Step 5. Maintain consistency. The key is not intensity, but repetition. By following this routine every morning, your cells adapt, increasing vitamin D receptor sensitivity, boosting NAD production, and improving calcium channel activity within muscle fibers. Over time, your body runs smoother, your muscles stay stronger, and your metabolism becomes naturally faster. Think of it this way. Every morning is a reset button for your biochemistry. You can either skip breakfast, spike your cortisol with caffeine alone, and stay in stress mode, or you can give your body what it needs to build, repair, and thrive. What the research shows is that individuals who maintain a consistent micronutrient intake in the morning have better muscle mass, reduced visceral fat, improved mitochondrial function, and lower inflammation markers compared to those who take supplements irregularly. The morning window amplifies everything. So as you move forward, remember this protocol is not about taking more. It is about taking smarter. The right vitamins, the right timing, the right food combination. That is how you activate your body's natural muscle building potential, no matter your age. You now understand that building muscle and improving metabolism is not only about lifting weights or eating more protein, it is about creating the internal environment where your cells can respond to those signals efficiently. And that environment begins each morning right at your breakfast table. Here is what is really going on inside your body when you follow this routine. Vitamin D acts like a master switch, turning on genes that promote muscle protein synthesis. Vitamin K2 makes sure calcium and other nutrients flow to the right places, your muscle fibers, your bones, your mitochondria. Then vitamin B3 steps in to provide the cellular fuel, boosting NAD levels and allowing your muscle engines to run efficiently all day. Together, they turn your breakfast into a biochemical training session. You are teaching your body how to burn fat instead of storing it, how to recover faster, and how to maintain muscle even as you age. Every single morning becomes a quiet form of strength training, not in the gym, but inside your cells. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body as a hybrid car. Vitamin D is the ignition that starts the system. Vitamin K2 is the steering that directs energy where it needs to go, and vitamin B3 is the fuel that keeps everything running smoothly. Without all three, you have the parts, but not the performance. When they work together, your system runs cleaner, faster, and longer. What the research shows is that maintaining these nutrients in optimal ranges can reduce sarcopenia, improve insulin sensitivity, and even extend mitochondrial health, one of the core drivers of longevity. Stronger muscles mean better posture, balance, blood sugar control, and metabolism. They also mean fewer falls, sharper cognition, and a slower aging process overall. So, as you finish this video, remember this, it is not about taking more supplements, it is about taking them smarter. Timing, synergy, and consistency are what matter. If you start your day with the right combination, vitamin D, vitamin K2, and vitamin B3, alongside real food, hydration, and light movement, you are already rebuilding your body from the inside out. Try this for just 2 weeks. Observe your energy, your focus, your recovery, even your mood. When your mitochondria start running at full capacity, you feel it. You wake up stronger, clearer, and more stable throughout the day. That is your metabolism working the way it was designed to. If this added value, like the video and subscribe to join others optimizing their health naturally. Together, we are building strength, energy, and longevity, not through quick fixes, but through understanding how the body truly works. Every morning is another chance to rebuild your future. Make your breakfast your best muscle building habit and let your body show you what it is truly capable of.